Hello, all my air signs. Welcome to your weekly energy update. And we're going to be looking at the dates of January 9th to January 16th. Although these readings are timeless, so if you come across these outside of that time frame, there's bound to be messages for you anyway. So I would trust your gut and watch the video if it brought you here, right? So the big day, if you are watching this between January 9th and January 16th, is actually the day after January 17th, which is the Cancer full moon. Because Cancer is ruled by the moon, and of course, both of those are so much emotional energy, we're definitely going to be feeling the impact this week before that full moon. I did create videos for each of the zodiac signs for that full moon, so if you want to check that out, I'll have it linked at the end of the video here so that you can take a look and see what other energies are going to be involving you this week. But for this week, for this reading, we're going to pull a card here from the Guardian Angel deck and see what Guardian Angels want you to know about this week. And then of course we'll pull more cards from this Radiant Rider-Waite Tarot. One more time here. There we go. All right, so for our air signs, all of our Geminis, our Libras, our Aquarians, no matter where it's at in your chart. Okay, I feel like that's the one for you. I love these beautiful cards here. And you have Guilt. And that says you do not need another's approval to feel worthy of love. Regardless of what you've done or what you think you've failed to do, from your soul's perspective, there's neither right nor wrong. Every experience in life is here to help you expand your awareness of love so that you may embrace even greater spheres of wisdom. You've done nothing wrong. That is a beautiful message, because our fear ego, of course, our little human existence here, we came here to experience what guilt might feel like, what making a mistake might feel like, or feeling betrayed or betraying others, or all those delicious emotions of the shadow. We came here to experience those, but they are for us. We came here on purpose to experience all of that in order to more fully understand who we are by experiencing what we're not. So when it talks about it is happening for us and it is an experience we wanted, that's what we're zeroing in on here. So we're also going to, like I said, pull some additional cards here. Just see what else the Creator wants all of the air signs to know about this upcoming week here. All right, so for our air signs, what else? Okay, I want that one. Just that one. That one. And those two. Okay. So let's get these all lined up here. And you have the Emperor. So this makes sense, because the Emperor brings in this energy it's double-sided, really. There's a loving Emperor side who is all about the loving kingdom. He cares about that, not about himself, not about his success, his control, his possessions, all the rules and everything. The loving Emperor does is for the kingdom, to help it get along with each other, to help it be successful, for it to expand and grow. And so that's the beautiful loving side of an emperor. And we're like, yes, that's the kind of emperor we want. That's like our Creator. But when the human existence gets involved, like we're talking about the shadow side, the little child within us, that little human side, loves for everything to be normal, and when it experiences new things coming in, it feels scared. Little alarms go off, and it wants to maintain control. It wants to maintain its own control, gain more control, and usually take control from others too. That's when it changes from this loving emperor into a dictator. So there's all this, that's where the guilt comes in, because then if there's all these rules that are about control, then there's a lot of judgment, there's a lot of punishment, and there's a lot of, those shadow and dark emotions that happen. So this is showing us that we have a choice, and there's two sides to our lives. There's that higher ruler of unconditional love, or the fear-based living where guilt comes in, of the shadow and of the human experience. Yeah, and you have the Tower. So this is, when we feel judged, and you can see someone's getting blown out of the tower and someone's leaping out of the tower. And there's this great message that comes with this for you. And you've got two major arcana so far, which this is about life-changing knowledge that's coming in for you this week. Because the Tower kind of starts off with the Wheel of Fortune card, where the Wheel of Fortune is, before you come down here, that higher soul that you are, that higher self. You determine when you want to come down here and when you're going to leave. Also, what little character is going to represent you, this little human. So it's the avatar, it's the character behind, this existence that we have. And you make all those choices. You also choose all these fated events that you want to have happen in your life so that you can experience and understand yourself more deeply. But within each of those fated events, we still have this power here, this power of choice, where we get to choose what story we apply to that situation, and also what emotion we want to feel during that. Are we going to choose an extreme emotion of fear or an extreme emotion of unconditional love? It's all up to us. And so the message of the Wheel of Fortune is that life is not this out of control drama train that's about to skip off the tracks and blow up as it flies off into a deep gorge, but that instead of life happening to us and that we are this victim of life is unfolding for us, and that we are victors, and that this is a beautiful journey that we're on. And, we're experiencing all these things that, again, are for us. Where the Tower comes in all of that is that there's all these events that are happening, and the Tower represents an event that's been in our lives on purpose, for a purpose. And that can be a relationship of some kind, whether it's romantic, family, friend, work, whatever. It could be a situation like a job or a career, education, or it can be something physical in our lives, whether it's our physical body, another person, possessions, our finances, something like that. But in order for us to experience these other fated events we talked about after this thing needs to be removed because it's blocking us from experiencing those. And so again, that happens for us, not to us. And the beauty of this, that someone's getting blasted out of the tower as it's getting removed, or someone's leaping out, is that we also, if we're in tune with spirit and we've raised our vibration purposely to that of the spirit world, which is of unconditional love and joy and laughter and peace, we can hear the countdown before the lightning bolt hits the tower to, demolish it and remove it out of our lives. So we hear the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. When we're hearing that countdown, we can, of our own free will, remove that. That's the leaping out of the tower. We can remove that earlier. We don't have to go through the electric shock therapy treatment of the lightning bolt. But truth be told, majority of us like that electric shock treatment, and we come here to experience all of this. So a lot of us want to experience everything right up to the last possible second. So don't judge yourself. Don't, look down on yourself if you have the electric shock treatments where things are removed for you, because majority of us enjoy that and want that anyway from our higher self perspective. I know when we're going through it, we may not enjoy it, but in the scheme of things, if we realize that everything is unfolding for us, then we look at things changing in our life and being removed out of our lives as a blessing instead of a curse, right? And then you have the Page of Cups. So yeah, cups are your emotions. Pages, two things with this. Pages were messengers, the hear ye of the olden times. And so this is that you're going to be getting emotional messages that are going to be coming into your life. You can see him talking to the little fish. So be aware that you're going to have this emotional kind of knowingness that comes in your brain. I know, being air signs, we like having our brain think about things rather than our emotions. But in this case, we're going to be getting this like gut feelings coming up a lot during this time. Pages also represent, they're usually youth. So this represents new emotion coming in, new emotional experiences, like next level emotional experiences happening. So with this tower and with this awareness that you get to choose what something means, this is going to be a real beautiful growth experience for you, because when you have this guilt and this fear coming in, you're going to realize that you can choose differently, because you do hold the power of choice what story you're going to apply to any situation that happens this week, or that has happened coming up, bringing you into this week. You get to choose what it means and how you feel as well. Yeah, because this is a choice. 10 of Cups, this is like emotional fulfillment to the max, just like you are feeling whole and complete and joyful. So that would be like, like let's say this tower, and this is not, I mean, this is for everyone. It's just an example. If you lose your job and it was a toxic situation, or you were in a relationship that was toxic for you, and you are ready for something new, and they break up with you, or you get fired, or they eliminate your position, or something happens in your life where this thing that was there, when you can look at it from a calm place, from the outside in, you realize this is happening for me. You can rejoice and you can feel like you are so blessed, because all these things that are changing in your life are happening for you, and you can. It's like this, it's a choice of night and day is what I'm hearing. So yeah, because here's the 4 of Cups. Cups, more emotions. So definitely emotional opportunities coming up this week, because these 3 cups are the cups of the outside world, those things that are talking about that can change relationships, situations, and things. Those things, you can see how bored that person is looking at those, going how unfulfilled they felt with what had been going on in their lives. This means that you're like, I got and achieved things, and I have that relationship or that job or that education or those things or that body or that money, and I'm feeling still empty. I feel, just totally, like, I would say lifeless, like bored, unsatisfied. But here's the gift of the Ace of Cups, which also comes from the page here, that this is the chalice, this is the Holy Grail, and what this offers you is the living waters. It offers you true wholeness and completeness, which is like this 10 of Cups too, that it is filled with the essence of our Creator, the unconditional love that we are and that we feel on the other side, that the Creator is. And so you're being offered this new emotional experience, this new higher love, these new higher emotions. As this stuff is removed out of your life, you're able to just really feel this amazing, amazing love from the inside out, instead of trying to get something on the outside that you'll never find there. And then you have the 6 of Pentacles. And Pentacles are about your outside world. It's about how you determine your worth, and how your little human side of yourself determines how worthy it is, how acceptable it is, based on all those outside things that we're taught to define ourselves. But this also represents for me what I call the codependent relationship awareness card. And I always admit that I'm a recovering enabler in codependent relationships, so I'm definitely not judging you. I have been through it, and I understand it, and I have to watch out for it, because an enabler in codependent relationships comes from the point of view with this old belief from like the dictator days way back when we were younger. From somewhere we developed this belief about our worth, and that if we're not able to give something to someone, then we're worthless. Why would anyone want to be around us? Because unless we have something to offer and give, then they won't stick around. They're going to go off somewhere else and find someone else that can give them something that I can't. And so when we enter a relationship in the beginning, very quickly, we'll give and receive equally in the very beginning, but we'll, as fast as we can, change from like adult to mama bird and baby bird, where we're the ones giving because we feel safe. If we're the ones giving, because if we're the ones receiving, then we feel out of whack. We feel like we're worthless, that they're just going to be like, you're not giving me anything, and they'll go somewhere else. So baby bird down here, we're teaching it. You can only receive from me. Nope, you can't give. No. Only receive from me. And so we teach the person in that relationship, whether it's romantic, family, friends, work, whatever, that we're the ones that give. No, you don't give to me. What that does is eventually mama bird gets exhausted because she's not receiving. So she continues to give and give and give, and then she gets exhausted and then resentful, and that doesn't end well, Little baby bird in the relationship wants to give, and if it won't allow it to give to us, then it will give outside. So if it's a romantic relationship, they may have an affair or go outside of our relationship, or leave, break up and go, to that relationship. Or they might become a workaholic and invest all their energy into work. They'll get reward back, or they'll, to their friends or to a hobby, to something outside of themselves, they'll continue to give that way. And so that's what ends up in those codependent relationships, is usually they kind of have this downward spiral that if things don't change, the relationship explodes. Well, this awareness card comes in here to really look into how you're defining yourself and how you're defining your worth, because then when you realize that you define yourself by this inner love instead of this outer stuff, then you become whole and complete. You become the chalice. You fill up with unconditional love, and then everyone else gets the overflow. So you never feel empty and exhausted because you're full and overflowing. And the waters you were giving before, when you were giving, your life essence away, it felt like, to where you were exhausted. What you were giving were sour and bitter waters full of expectations and all of that shadowy, darker emotion, right? So that's all they knew. They're like, okay, well, it's sour and bitter water, I'll take it. But the new waters that you get from this overflowing cup taste sweeter because it's nectar. It is the unconditional love. And so even though people might be getting less because they only are getting the overflow, even one drop of that overflow tastes so much better than that bitter, sour water that we were giving them before. So this is a beautiful balance that comes in of this giving and receiving, where you feel yourself worthy of receiving, but you're not like desperate for it, because you're finding everything you need from within, from this golden chalice, from this holy grail, that beautiful unconditional love from the other side. So it's a beautiful awareness that comes in, and it can be definitely life-changing for you here, and a very emotional level, which I know, being an air sign, people think that air signs don't have emotions. They're just very much in their head, and you can compartmentalize your emotions very well. Again, I'm an Aquarian sun, so I definitely understand that, and people perceive it going, you're so unemotional. I'm like, oh no, I have a ton of emotion going on inside. I just keep it contained and manage it. So you have this emotion that's happening inside, and this beautiful change within brings you a lot of peace, both to your heart and to your mind. So I'm loving this for you. All right, well, I'm going to leave the reading there. I do want to let you know that in addition to these readings, I also put out monthly readings by each zodiac sign, new moon, full moon readings, and a variety of other readings. And of course, I also did a new year reading, like a little sneak peek into 2022. So I'll have that linked here, and a lot of those videos linked here in just a moment. But if you're enjoying these videos, and if you want to be notified of when these new videos come out so you don't miss a thing, if you give this video a little like and you click the subscribe button and the notification bell, This will allow you, one, to be notified when new videos come out, but also helps you share the love. Because when you like this video, it just helps the YouTube algorithm share this video with other people as a recommended or suggested video. I never have any expectations that you do that, but if you feel so inclined, I would greatly appreciate that. All right, all my dears, just know that as you're going through your life, each and every second of every day, you are unconditionally loved by the Creator of all things. And of course, I love you too. Have an amazing week. I'm sure I'll be talking to you very soon. But until then, you take care.